Okay, don't ask me for the title of my project. I don't know by heart.
Can you tell me your name and your profession?
Yes. Tanja Ćirković Veličković, affiliated with University of Belgrade Faculty of Chemistry.
You're a chemist or a
I am protein chemist.
So how did you get into this work on micro and nanoplastics? What do you find important about it?
Well, I am a protein chemist, biochemist, that's been working a lot with food allergens, also interactions of food allergens with other components in foods, and the effects of these interactions on the allergic immune response and reactivity. Also, as a food chemist, it was very appealing to me to look into the emerging food contaminants, such as micro and nanoplastics. So we know it's there. We know there is a lot of microplastics, also probably a lot of nanoplastics there, but we don't know what it does to us. So we just started looking into this emerging new topic that nobody knew anything about. There were no methods developed yet. There are no good reference material available. Everything we wanted to be answered to, we had to think of a question to ask and to build methods, to invent them, to start from the scratch. That was the most appealing in this field. It's a huge black box, nothing in there. So we have to work step by step and to fill it in it. So especially our hypothesis that is relevant for the ongoing project Imptox was that we have food allergens, food contaminants, and now we have new contaminants, emerging contaminants, microplastics. Can they interact? Yeah. What is the outcome of that interaction? And of course, because there is also micro nanoplastics in the air and there are also respiratory allergens, there is also a possibility that they can also interact and make like some particles that can enter and get co-exposed inside our bodies, again to a different exposure route. It's indeed a very complex question, and that was the idea behind this project, the hypothesis that they can allergens, allergenic proteins, and microplastics, nanoplastics can indeed interact. Proteins make protein corona on the surface of microplastics. So if these proteins are allergenic, then we have allergenic protein corona on the microplastics. And this interaction might make a difference regarding like the sensitization process or maybe during the acute reaction to the allergens. That was the starting point for us.
So, Tanja, what is your role in CASP?
I'm coordinator of one of the CASP projects. That is Imptox project. And Imptox is also in charge of the working group Material and Methods group. So my role is to help manage the working group 1, help us get our methods analytical harmonized, protocols developed, shared in between, and also, of course, to coordinate one of the projects that are contributing in this cluster.
And are you enjoying that? Is it a good job? You like it?
Yes, I like it very much. Now, especially now when I'm not any longer chair of the CASP. I did it last year. It was the first year of the cluster implementation. It was difficult. Just started working, getting to know each other. Now it's a bit easier. Now I can focus more on management of our own project and enjoy the opportunity to work together with other projects in this cluster.
Great. So we just had our project meeting. Well, it was the second one technically, but the first one in person.
Yes.
How did you like it?
I liked it very much. It's very good to finally meet people face to face after tons of our online meetings. it is much easier to communicate, to also discuss collaboration, to ask questions, much easier than in the virtual environment. This is what we really needed to start working more like a cluster than like just five projects that are in the cluster.
So do you think something happened during these 3 days?
Well, we have had a lot of the discussion and contacts and exchanged ideas and exchanged the contacts. It's really nice that we have seen a lot of research ongoing, a lot of presentations, posters. A lot of researchers from all projects were here and present. It was really nice that we could indeed discuss collaboration, what we can do together, how we can help each other. In a way, yeah, we can do this for you and you can do that for us. We can exchange materials and protocols and work together. Yeah, it has become really a realistic opportunity now.
Yeah. And what's the difference that you hope the CUSP cluster will make?
For sure, we will get solid scientific data. This is for sure, because I see how we are approaching the problem with a lot of criticism. When it comes to the materials we are working with, we are really perfectionists. We want the best characterized. So then we are sure about what we are testing. When it comes to the methods, we are really aiming towards having these methods as much harmonized as possible. And again, there is this, everyone wants to share and to contribute in this way. So we are pretty sure that there will be solid scientific data that can contribute to the risk assessment and to the understanding of the role microplastic can or cannot have on human health. So in this regard, we don't know the answer yet. We cannot say, is it a positive or a negative role? Does it have an impact or not? But for sure, whatever the answer is at the end, it's going to be based on solid scientific data.
Good. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yes, it is.
So, was there anything during these last 3 days that excited you, that surprised you? Anything you want to share?
It was really nice seeing people face to face. Well, I am positively surprised how everyone is really open to collaborate. We have had a lot of very fruitful meetings and discussions that can result in joint publications. So it's that level of collaboration that we might really do a lot of things together, and everyone is very willing to work together. That was like a positively surprising thing.
Good. Did you like the venue?
Absolutely. I'm very grateful to GRC for allowing us to be here. It's wonderful. It is a fantastic facility, and I also can't wait to visit the labs.
Good. Great. So 2 more questions, then we're done.
Okay.
Looking forward, we have 3 more years.
Yes.
What are you excited about? What's going to happen in the next 3 years that you can't wait to see?
I can't wait to see the final meeting of the cluster. During the final meeting, we will be presenting the final results. The first year was a preparation year. Now we are in the second year, and some results are coming up, but still we all need to fill a lot of gaps. And in the final year, during the final conference, it's going to be really fantastic to listen to what we have achieved. And we are doing a lot of things. There are 5 clinical studies in ongoing in the cluster, and it's nice that we are targeting different populations. We have projects dealing with children, then projects dealing with professionally exposed population, and it's newborn babies. So from early life we go into the pediatric population, then we have adults, few populations. It's really nice that we will have the data that we can really put together and present. And all of the data that will come up as a result of these important clinical studies will also be supported by our in vitro and in vivo tests, as well as a lot of data that we will collect on the exposure, human exposure to microplastics.
Right. So, anything else you want to add? Do you have any message? Do you think that's important also for the public or for our colleagues in the cluster?
It is nice to see how our projects are complementary. Imptox project has a very clear focus on allergies and asthma. We are really working with only 2 plastics materials, and we are having a very clear path. But the methods we are developing, we can also share with others in collaborating in this way. I'm, very happy with the progress we have made when it comes to digestion protocols from complex matrices. I think this is a very nice example that analytical chemistry can contribute to exposure assessment with a lot of nice details. We have worked for the last year on putting it really in a good way. So I'm pretty sure that other scientists working on chemical characterization of microplastics may benefit from having a very nice material. We have also managed to make oligomers of PET that are labeled with C13, and in that way can be useful for tracking or looking at the fate of these particles. And they are very elegant, safe, cannot leak, and also not prone to contamination. In this regard, I see that these are even though we have a lot of common interest in Imptox, we have some very specific questions and methods we are developing that are unique and can help others as well.
Great, wonderful. Okay. Have you made any changes to your personal life since you started working on plastics?
Well, in what sense? Did I stop drinking water from plastic bottle?
Maybe, for example?
Not yet, because there is not that much microplastics in water, not in the numbers that can really concern us. Of course, we don't know if these levels during chronic exposure what can do. But personally, I'm not that concerned. Okay. Not yet. I have not seen anything yet that can really stop me from using. Of course, we have to take care of recycling, using less plastics around us, because we don't want to contribute to that litter around. Now, maybe we have numbers that are more or less, especially in food, not so big, but if we keep collecting that plastic litter and if we keep producing, we don't know what will happen. So it's good to be cautious when it comes to the microplastics. Good.
Wonderful. You happy? Everything?
Yes, I'm happy. Nothing else to add.